All right, this is a topic I've been wanting to get into for a while. This is narcissistic personality disorder, exaggerated sense of self-importance. I have experienced quite a few of these people in the last 10 years. So let's get into this.
Disorder, an often misunderstood mental health. Hi everyone. Today we'll be discussing narcissistic personality disorder, an often misunderstood mental health condition. My name is Dr. Gurveer Rai, and I'm a resident physician in psychiatry at the Ottawa Hospital. In this video, we'll explore exactly what narcissistic personality disorder is, its signs and symptoms, and how to get help. Narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, is a mental health condition characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, exaggerated feelings of entitlement, and difficulty recognizing and caring for the feelings of others. At the same time, it is characterized by a pervasive sensitivity to criticism and failure. This disorder is often linked with other mental health conditions, with more than half of those with NPD suffering from depression and anxiety as well. Narcissism refers to someone who has a generally self-centered attitude, which might be seen in anyone from time to time. There's nothing inherently wrong with feeling or behaving narcissistic on occasion. On the other hand, the personality disorder is characterized by a pervasive, inflexible, and persistent pattern of these traits. This significantly impacts a person's relationships and daily functioning. It's not uncommon to see interpersonal conflicts, marital problems, and occupational difficulties. A diagnosis of narcissistic personality disorder requires a thorough assessment by a healthcare practitioner. Professional assessments explore the following signs and symptoms: grandiosity, inflated
Grandiosity is the big one. That is like that's it. Yep.
sense of self-importance, a preoccupation with fantasies, thoughts of success, power, beauty, etc., belief of being special, thoughts of only being understood or worthy of those of high status, a need for excessive admiration from others and society in general, a sense of entitlement, expecting special treatment and privileges, exploitive behavior, manipulating others for personal gain, a lack of empathy, an unwillingness to identify with the feelings of others, feelings of envy directed towards others or the belief that others are envious of them, and finally arrogance, conceitful behaviors and attitudes. An unwilling.
All right, let's go back to some of these. All right, I'm going to go back to some of these.
This is frighteningly enlightening to me.
So here we go. I want to just get into this here. So, obviously, I've talked to you before. Some of the things in my childhood, it was kind of rough. So I was kind of changed by some of these things. I had anxiety. I still do. I had major depression, fits of rage. I mean, I'm just very prone to emotional kind of things, right? So I can actually tell you, like, honestly, that a lot of this is just in place to protect yourself. This is a protection thing. So when I was a kid, like when I was like 18, 19, whatever, like I would go to, this is going to sound so crazy. I would go to movies, right? And I would watch like The Matrix or like Jet Li movies where like it's called The One. You ever see I don't know if you ever seen The One.
I have seen The One.
I swear I'd watch these movies, like specifically The Matrix, and I'd be like, I'm special. I'm going to do something great. I'm chosen. And I would have these thoughts in my head at like 22, 23. And I'm like, because like, I wasn't like getting a great job at like 23. I was making like not great money. So like I had to like lie to myself to get myself to feel like I wasn't a loser and a piece of garbage. It happens to a lot of people. If you don't go right into your career after you start seeing your peers starting to work for different places, you start to like, if you don't go this way, you're like, I'm just a piece of shit,
Yeah.
I have more to add. Is there anything you'd like to add to this so far?
As far as the self-protection elements of this, I can relate. I remember after I had a stint in law school, and it just wasn't for me. I guess I had to go to realize that the study and practice of law it wasn't really my thing. I thought it would be, but it wasn't what I expected, and there's a whole thing on that. But I felt so defeated afterwards. I was, oh man, I what am I going to do now? It's like when you're young, I took the wrong turn, like really, but I took the wrong turn. What am I going to do? This is terrible. Like I wasted all this money. I'm in deeper debt.
Yeah. The debt will weigh on you. Yes.
And I remember like soon after that, I went with my family to watch, it was in theaters, The Bourne Identity.
Oh, good movie.
I saw that movie and I saw this Jason Bourne character and I thought to myself, now I knew that I couldn't do everything he could do, but at that moment, but I said, wow, like I know it's a movie, but in theory, here's a guy who can do nearly seemingly the impossible. The odds are stacked against him.
It's confident.
I can do that too. Yeah. I mean, okay, maybe not exactly what I saw.
Yeah,
in the film, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And it motivated me. It kind of got me out of that slump, or started to get me out of that slump. And I said, I'm going to be like Jason Bourne in my own way. So
of course. Some people want to be James Bond, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was inspiring, but you're right. Like some of the self-protection of I'm great and I can do great things.
Yeah.
Someone like that can do it. So can I. I could work out and get, strong and, mentally sharper.
Yeah.
And law school, it's really them. It's not me.
That's right.
It's them. Right. You start to, I see it could be a slippery slope, but yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I totally hear what you're saying. And, the funny part, like you said it earlier, like in this game of life, I wish adults, like my son, I'll try to express to him, like, most adults don't know what they're doing. Most young people have no idea what path they want to take. And they're kind of just working with it as it comes to them. And they're failing and they're losing money and they're not eating great and their car is not the greatest and they're not going on great vacations. Sometimes you get a little bit of it. You might get a great vacation, but you got a shitty car, right? You might go to groceries, you have all the groceries and food you want in your refrigerator, but you don't want to spend too much money on your electric, right? Because it's too expensive, right? So it's like, it's all this balancing issues. But with all that being said, I want to tell you why I wanted to talk about this topic.
Oh, yes.
All right. Let me paint a picture for you, right? So I try to understand that I also had some of these traits as well, especially the preoccupation with fantasies. Like, I get lost in fantasy, right? Like even the show at first, I was like, oh, I'll get monetized, this. I found out it's something completely different. So I also have some of these things. So I'm going to tell you a story about, oh my God, this woman I worked with, right? She had every single one of these. And I find it hits women. It's predominantly in women. And I don't care who hears me say it. It's true. Women get bitter in their mid 30s, 40s, 50s. They turn. When you're a girl, you get away with it, right? It's cutesy, but man, there's a lot of miserable women. And I've met 50 of them. And I've learned this through life experience. So let me paint this picture for you.
Yeah.
I took this job, right? And I've always wanted to design clothing. I love clothing. I'm good at design. I designed the thumbnails for this show. I designed everything in here. Took this job. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm working at a place where we make shirts, we make clothing. So I'm in there and I'm next to this guy, and this guy's name's Joe.
Right.
And Joe's like, this is a crazy place. This place I worked at it was in not a great neighborhood. The inside of it was very shitty. Their bathroom was garbage. And most of the people that worked there were just horrible. Their product was great, but man, the guy who worked there would hire and fire people in the same day. He'd hire people, they would quit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was nasty.
That's a bad, it sounds like a rough working environment in general.
So I go in there as a designer and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I go into the office, right? And it's got air conditioning, which, you feel special because out on the floor, they're all burning hot out there because there's no air conditioning.
Oh,
like, oh, cool. Doing something that they can't do. I'm in the air conditioner.
That's right.
So this guy, Joe's there. Joe was really annoying. He was missing a piece of his nose. His voice was broken. His voice was damaged. He sounded insane when he talked. He'd be like, his voice was horrible.
Okay.
So I'm working with this guy over here. He was a know-it-all. He was good. He was like the head design guy. Really grew to dislike him. I thought he was just a very annoying person. And I was kind of went in there with this attitude, like, I'm not like the rest of you trash in here. Like, They were some trashy. The one guy who did some of the shirts, because there's like some really manual labor to that. He actually was gone for 2 weeks. You know why? Because he didn't pay child support, so he had to go to jail for a couple weeks. These are the kind of people who are working in this place, right?
Oh, wow.
I say all this because the same day I worked, there was this woman, and I'll say her first name. Her name was Sharon. And if Sharon ever found out I made this video, she'd want to hunt me down and murder me. Sharon had this. This was Sharon.
Oh, so she looked like this woman here in the middle.
Everything. the grandiose, the whole thing, the fuck you.
Oh, man.
So why do I say all this? I'm in there trying to do this job, and this job is not easy, right? I'm doing all of like the stuff that goes on the shirts. There's like all these. So basically everything I do on the screen has to be like made in real life. So if you leave like a little like piece of line from like art, it's going to show up, right? So this shit was so hard. You had to put like, you had to make the letters, you had to make the numbers for like jerseys, for like real teams. Like it was really hard. I'm trying my best to do my job right. And Sharon started the same day I did. She would sit next to me and do nothing but answer the phone. And she would just like be on her phone all day long. And she would just make phone calls, and she'd be like, she would call like this place for food or something. And she'd be like, yeah, I told you, I don't like my fucking food that way. And the next time I fucking call you, you better get it right next time. She's like, cause I'm the shit. And like insane. That's
fun to listen to while you're working, right?
Oh my
you're
God.
trying to do something.
And then she'd be like, then she would sit there and answer the phone and play with her phone. She'd be like, that's not my job. I don't come here to do that. That's your job. That's not my job. And she would come in with this stupid blonde hair. She had giant fake boobs. And like, she thought she was the hottest lady in the world. She was also 49 years old. And she had four kids, and all the kids were fuck ups. And the one was like a super drug addict in prison. And she had been through so many relationships and got beat by a boyfriend. Like, she was a mess. But she still thought she was hot as shit. She always had her nails done. And her attitude was the most aggressive. She was so aggressive about everything. Last story. Her daughter bought a car from some like shitty place, right? Because her daughter worked there too. She got her daughter to work there. And she wanted to return the car because it sucked, right? And I'm sitting here working. I'm trying to do something very difficult. And the whole day she's calling the car place, and she's like, if you don't give me my money back from my daughter's car, I'm going to blow your fucking building up. I'm going to blow you the fuck up. And I'm like, I'm sitting here working. And this woman's over here dropping 1,000 F-bombs and threatening people and telling her she's going to come in there and beat their ass. And like every weekend she'd go to like this club, and she said she could get any man she wanted. She was horrible. Horrible. And I have met other women just like that. They're so aggressive. They're more aggressive than men because men have mistreated them. And now they want to be the man.
Oh yeah.
You know?
It's that chip on the shoulder.
Oh, the
like
boulder.
Cement brick. Yeah, the boulder. There you go. Even better. Yeah.
And
the boulder on the shoulder.
Her reckless spending, she'd get like one paycheck and go buy a brand new iPhone and have like to pay she'd have to finance it. Then she got a month in, she bought a brand new car and had like a $500 payment. And this lady, when she would talk, she would get fired from all these jobs she worked at. And then like she was at this one job where she was able to sue them, and she got like 10 grand settlement. And then she bought fake boobs with this money. This woman was insane. This woman was so aggressive. And it's because she was broken and battered, and all she could do was act the way she did. And she booked on everybody. It was insane.
You know, watching this video and hearing your story, this is something else, really makes me think. You know, I'm not an expert in the subject. Clearly not, because I've met people who exhibit more than one or two of these elements, but almost all of them, or at least most of them here that he describes. And I realized watching this video, oh my goodness, it's not just they had a personality quirk or an ego that was a little bigger than mine or whatever.
Yep.
It might very well be proper narcissistic personality disorder.
It is.
And it's, honestly, I'm thinking back to some past experiences I had with certain individuals who happen to be women too, as a matter of fact.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I don't know, but it's possible. It sort of changes the nature of what I went through on the receiving end, at least. So I kind of realized that, well, it wasn't necessarily, my fault in that sense. Maybe it was that they really had a condition like this, the grandiosity, excessive fantasy, thoughts that it's everyone else, not me, it's
Yeah.
fault. Very sensitive to any
criticism, but they
anything
criticize
even perceived.
everyone, but they cannot handle any criticism.
I mean, this is frighteningly enlightening in a way, because I look back and I just think, oh man, like I've probably met people like this too.
Yeah.
I can't say I met anyone as wild as Sharon.
Oh, Sharon was, she was just,
that takes the cake here.
I mean, she was just a mess. And like, she looked okay. Yeah. She was probably sort of pretty. Like, she probably was pretty when she was young. And I think what happens is she probably was in so many bad relationships, so many bad fathers, so much like worrying about money. I'm sure drugs, I'm sure alcohol. And then all them other maniacs you come up with when you grow, like she grew up in a trailer park. She told me she used to like escape out her window to go out at night. So this girl was wild. And I think what happens is it builds up and they burn out. And then they eventually just want to fight the world because they're just so tired of losing that they just want to just roar at everyone,
I think you're right in a sense for people. And I even think of the women I'm thinking of too. It's almost like if I look at it from their point of view and I think back, it's like, okay, again, not to Sharon's extreme, but you do start, there's a level of compassion where you're like, they've probably been through things. And for whatever reason at this point, they've got the boulder on the shoulder and like, you know what? And I can almost see if they're treated badly by several men in their lives in rapid succession, that's it. Yep. It's you men. I'm taking control now. Yep. You're never gonna, it's gonna be my way or the highway. And you could see like it just feeds this, whether the condition was already there, it's gotten there because of it. It's like, it's not good.
It was interesting.
It's sad. It's very sad.
Because some days the other guy wouldn't be there. And it was just her, it was me and her in there. And like, she had a decent sense of humor. Sometimes she was okay if she wasn't being challenged. She actually wasn't the worst person to be around. You could actually have a fun conversation with her. But as soon as there was an element of anything in the air, she just went right back to that and just was like either aggressive, passive, just not kind, not nice. And
I can relate to that in many ways. They can be very charming at times too. And it's like, well, I tend to be a nice guy. You think, well, everybody has a bad day.
Yeah.
I started making the excuses for something I didn't know, right? Maybe it was NPD. Maybe not.
Well, these people I've experienced wake up angry. They wake up just ready to go. It's not like something happens and their day goes. No, they're ready to go, man. As soon as they're up, the moment they're into survival mode and they're super aggressive. I just found that when I was trying to do a complex job and I was trying to learn that I don't understand why they allowed this woman to just basically do nothing, be hyper aggressive and just talk shit all day. But the owners, I'll shit on them too, that the whole place was a scumbag. Their product was fine. They did good things, but like the management, they had the most disposable workforce ever. And it was just filled with so many.
Yeah. It sounds like a really tough environment overall, right? Yeah.
The bathroom was disgusting and they would never clean it. And I'm like, you guys are, I mean, it was like something you would see in like Skid Row or something like that. And like some of those dudes in there were recovering heroin addicts. And I was just like, this is how you learn how to do this with these freaks.
That's a tough environment.
It was really just, and some of those people weren't bad. It was just really a terrible environment. And I was more than happy to leave there. The guy, he fired everybody. And I was saying to the one dude, I'm like, I filled out this application to work at this place. Let me tell you something about those little assholes that work there. Like Sharon, they're gossiping pieces of shit. And if they get any information on you, they will throw you under the bus to make themselves look better. So I mentioned it in there, and then the next day this asshole pulled me up there and he was just like, today's your last day. I said, good, I'm glad. I said, this is great. Like now I'd be calling him out like, you suck. You let these people run around like garbage, like you suck. But I was just like, fuck this. Right? It was a part-time job. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And like
the benefit of hindsight, right? Yeah.
But just the most ghetto ass shit. Now I just want to add one other story. My friend who I grew up with. I won't say his name because I do genuinely care for him, but he's older now too. When he was young, he didn't go to college, blah, 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 right? But he liked to play guitar. He liked to sell pot. Like he was like, living life how he felt.
I can kind of picture the guy, like a guy like this.
Yeah, 90s, super cool dude. I mean, when we were young, he had better clothes than me because he was making money selling pot. And he had like, gold necklaces. So fast forward some time, he didn't choose a career path. So now all of a sudden things are drying up, right? He got burned out and he had a male version of this same thing. So I have
the male version of Sharon.
Man, let me tell you something. Great guy. I do care for him greatly, but he's a little fried now. But like he would walk around and he'd be like, I can get any girl I want. They all love me. They want me. I got the biggest dick. And he would like walk around.
One of these guys.
He would say it. He would say it out loud to people. He'd be like, I'll kick. He was not a very big guy, but he had a lot of he had a lot in him. He could go, but he wasn't. He was kind of short. He was like 5'6". He didn't weigh very much, but he had. Right. He would compensate for it. He'd be like, oh, I'll take you out. I will knock you out. Like constantly, like bucking, right? And he had so much grandiose in him. He'd be like, I'm gonna be a millionaire, famous, eating steaks on boats, and he would just like get lost in it. And then,
that's interesting. Yeah.
Like 15 years passed by, 18 years, he started to like fry himself with this mentality. It doesn't look good when you're 40 and you're like, I got the biggest dick and every girl loves me and like I watched it go from a cool kid to like all the way like this art, And I was like, damn.
It's interesting, right? Context is king in a way, right? Like, so what seemed cool maybe in your teens, early 20s, you're like, I'm the man.
Yeah.
Right. I got it all.
Yeah.
When you're 40, I mean, you can think that, but saying it the exact same way you would in your 20s is kind of.
And saying it to people who are in their 20s, you just sound so ridiculous because they're like, oh, God, why didn't you do it? What happened? Because you're like talking all this shit to people who are like in their prime. And they can see, obviously, because a lot of these people don't keep up on their teeth. You start seeing their teeth get all jacked up. They start to age rapidly.
I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Close to that. It makes you think hindsight's 2020, right? At least for us. And then because we reflect.
Yeah.
But also, it's funny. I had a roommate in university and someone looking on the outside might think, oh, he's just like this grandiosity. He used to work out a lot. But what was interesting is there was a difference. I would argue, he displayed some of these characteristics or seemed to, but he was in fact a friendly guy. He did in fact care. He would show empathy. He would feel bad if he hurt someone's feelings.
Gotcha.
He was a little nervous about how he made others feel, but at the same time, he tried to project this confidence. And it's interesting because there's an example of a guy who, and he'd have the nice gold necklace and stuff. Yeah. Just a funny guy. He'd look in the mirror though, and he'd like, yo, man, did I get bigger? This is after like one workout. Yeah. Maybe he'd be flexing and everything. And it was just funny to see. And he'd ask me, yo, comrade, did I get bigger, man? Did you think I got bigger?
No, Jesus, stop.
And I'm like, I'm like, dude, really? Like I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Right?
Well, it sounds a lot of that is healthy. A lot of being confident is healthy.
It was.
As long as you're having fun with it and you're not believing all your own bullshit and truly, truly lying to yourself. Because that is not good.
I think you're right, and I think he was the kind of guy who did not believe his own bullshit. I think he was almost performative for him in a way too.
Well, like you mentioned it for me. Regardless of how I've ever felt like I was special or the one or whatever, I never lacked empathy. I've never lacked empathy for people.
Right.
Ever. Because I truly don't. I've never bullied anybody. I don't. Some people try to pull some shit on me. Now it's different. But when I was younger, they try to pull some shit. I have never intentionally bullied anyone.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Because you know empathy, right? You know
Yes.
exactly how it would feel,
Yeah.
right? Or you at least have a, yeah, I'm the same way. I feel like even if I do say something that's a bit out of turn or off, even if the person I'd argue had it coming, sometimes afterwards I'll think, maybe that was a little harsh.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm too nice for them.
I don't,
But, you know,
yeah.
uh,
I don't
yeah.
need the victory lap. Like there's some people like they deserve it,
no.
but I understand just by this whole episode, what goes around comes around.
You're
know,
right.
and most of us aren't there for their fall. They will inevitably fall, and that doesn't mean they're dead. It just means that bullshit train that they were hyping up will fail, and we won't be around when it happens.
Yeah,
but it will happen, and I don't even have to want for it. It just will inevitably.
No, it absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that. I don't have to will it into the universe like that. It's just going to happen.
If you keep it up,
that delusion will collapse.
Yes.
Yeah, like a house of cards in a hurricane. It will fall, and it will be very, very painful for them.
Yeah.
When it does.
So So let's summarize what they are, right? So people understand, right? Yes. I'm not better than anyone. I just don't like when people treat me poorly. And this behavior, I've felt very viciously from middle-aged women. They're mean. And it's This is really the tendencies where it comes from. So we got grandiosity. Stop it. Knock it off. Stop it. Like if you don't have $100,000 cash in your bank account, don't brag to me about your phone. Don't brag to me about your vacation. If you got $500,000 cash, a 401k, and etc., okay, fine. But you're lying. You're lying. You know that phone you're financing. You didn't buy that shit straight up. Okay. A preoccupation with fantasies, escapism. I've done this. This can happen, you know?
I've done that too. Yeah.
A belief of being special can be fine, can be great, but don't think you're Neo. You're not Neo. You know?
Yeah. I'm with you on that. There's a range where it's, I think, good. I'd argue it's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
After a certain point, it becomes delusional.
If you're like, I have powers, I'm special, that's grandiosity. You're getting there.
Exactly.
One thing I learned: if you get put into like the hospital for a 302, like where they arrest you because you're acting crazy, they look for grandiosity. So when they get your file, your chart ready, if you come in there talking with grandiosity, they put that shit down because that's a massive indicator of a lot of mental traits. So don't be coming in there.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yes. I
didn't realize that was they'll actually keep an eye out and then
100%
mark it.
Grandiosity gets put down in your chart quickly. Yeah. A need for excessive admiration. This is ridiculous. I get it. They just want people to adore them. A sense of entitlement. Always. I'm hot shit. I look great. They all want me. I'll get anyone I want.
Yeah, combined with the others, combined with the grandiosity or this inflated sense of self or whatever, that entitlement, is something I've encountered.
And it's false.
In the past.
It's false.
False.
It's not. It's untrue. It's a defense mechanism that's broken. Yeah. You know. So we got exploitive behaviors. This is what I don't like. This is when they'll lie to someone to make them look the other way, steal their phone. This is the person that will gaslight people constantly.
Gaslighting.
These people are the gaslighters. They're the best.
Yeah.
So we have lack of empathy, which I cannot relate with. Those people are horrible. Now we're getting towards sociopaths. You lack empathy, you're becoming a sociopath, right?
Right. You're right. Yeah, you can't. Mm-hmm.
Which a sociopath can be a great soldier because you can just kill and feel nothing. So there is a place for that.
True.
Yeah.
There is. That's true.
And envy towards others, they do that shit. All Facebook, social media, envy. That's all it is. Envy.
And you're right about social media, for example. And I'm thinking of a particular person I knew who it was like social media. If it wasn't on social media, it wasn't real. Now, at first I used to joke about it, but now that I look back, I'm thinking, oh man, this is how this person operated, and everyone else's life was better than this person's, and always. And I'm like, it's a picture.
Right, but it's also those people are putting their best foot forward and showing like they're doing grandiosity also, some of them. So
that's right.
You're falling into the trap. Mm-hmm. And then the arrogance, obviously, because you can't knowingly like accept. You have to be arrogant to operate.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I don't know how you would without being arrogant. It's kind of hard to wrap my mind around that
But
one. Yeah.
I thank you for letting me tell that story. There's a lot more to
Hey,
that
thank you
place
for
I
telling
worked.
it.
I have been looking for a way to say that stuff in an
Nice.
episode for a
Nice.
long time. And I don't want to, like, when you come on here and you're just angry, you're like, oh, I hate that person. I don't try to look at it that way. So it took me quite some time to figure out a way how to get to this.
It's good too to be able to share a story because anyone else watching too, you're not alone. I'm sure that you know this, right? But so that they know, they'll get to hear you too tell this story. And I realized from you telling your story, hey, wait, like I've had experiences like that too, even at work.
Yeah.
Not my current job, but prior jobs, or like experience like that in relationships with people who, wow, they might be on that NPD.
So
They got a few more elements than I thought they had.
I know
maybe,
I've made it with my podcast. If one day Sharon sends a cease and desist letter, and you wouldn't know, only she would know. Like, how would they know? How would they know where she is and where we were? But if she sends one, then I know I've come a long way. And I wish her well. I wish her well. I hope she's happy.
Yeah.
But those people are in a spiral of chaos, and all they do is just emit chaos out in the world. And they're just inside, I believe they're sad. I think they're sad people.
I agree with you.
Who just need a
very
friend and a hug. So,
that's well said. And I agree with you. I don't wish ill on people who suffer from this at all. It's just being aware it's out there. I'm not qualified, nor do I wish to deal with it in my relationship. So I'll step back.
Yep.
But yeah, there's no reason to bully them or be mean to them or anything. Just knowing they're out there and they're sad people too. Yeah, they're struggling. They're just struggling,
And to the people who get really like wrapped up in it, I just have a little tip for you guys. We can tell. We can tell you're bullshit.
Yeah, we know.
Everyone can tell you're fronting, and we all know it's a big fat lie. And it's easier to just go say, okay, cool, because no one wants to deal with you. We all know what you're going to do. Nobody wants to waste their time when you explode. And
that's right. That's
true.
Right. Well said, my man. Well said.
And that was a fun one.
It was.
Yeah, I finally got the story out. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was worse. There was a lot of other times. There was a lot of nonsense in that place. And
oh man, it sounds so crazy. I believe you. It just sounds so crazy. There are places like that though. You go in and it's just a disaster from the word go.
Yeah.
Like hiring, firing the same day. The management's no good. The workers are there for no good.
Yeah. Very disposable. The products were great. We would make like It would
I guess that was good. Yeah.
It was associated with I forget what that larger company was, but I was doing stuff for like people in other countries. I was doing jerseys for kids for when I was doing bachelorette parties. So I was doing like, cool shit. But
that's cool stuff.
I was there to learn, but unfortunately the environment I was in was just absolute it was hell and trash.
Awful.
It was horrible.
I mean, I look at that Sharon woman. I was just thinking, my God, if I had to.
She was one of many characters in that place. They all had some angle that this made. It was like it was being on a Jerry Springer. Like that, everyone was a Jerry Springer. Everybody.
That's a perfect. Yeah. Oh God, I get the image. I could never deal with that for long.
I'll never forget. I went in there and I would always dress not button-up shirts, but I always put on new clothing. You could tell I took a shower. I had new fresh clothes on. So
yeah, you cleaned up.
I remember Sharon said to me, she goes, I don't even know why you bother wearing nice clothes here. I don't even care. And I'm like, dude, because I have integrity, because I don't want to be a dirtball.
Integrity, a sense of pride or sense of self-worth. You want to smell good. You don't want to smell like a foot.
Yeah.
Like a rotten foot walking in there.
Yeah, I brushed my teeth. I brushed my teeth before I came
hygiene.
here. I groomed my beard. This shirt is washed. Yeah, exactly. So,
oh my goodness.
Whatever.
People are funny like that.
That was fun. And
a lot of fun,
I wish them all well, and I'm glad I've moved away from all of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me vent, buddy. I appreciate it.
You bet, man.
And it seems like you
appreciate
also
a good vent.
It seems like you gained some knowledge and was able to compare this to some other things.
I really did. Because it's just when you hear it, honestly, I remember my mom telling me about it. Well, I think she was a narcissist, and then I'm thinking like, that seems kind of harsh. Like really, but then you hear like a doctor is laying out the elements, and
the signs and symptoms.
Those signs and symptoms, and then I've had time to reflect on this particular relationship, and I think back and I'm like, Oh man.
It's all clear.
Like it would not surprise me if she was really like I don't know, but
I'm
it's
sure
not good.
this
Yeah,
person you're
like, that
talking
makes a lot
about
of sense.
had some of these tendencies, obviously. Let's be
Yeah, I think so. I think
And
so.
I
really
started
do.
before I even started talking about anyone else. I compared myself, and I acknowledged that I had some of these. So,
It's true. Yeah.
I'm not just sitting here just belittling.
Yeah,
people,
no. And you know, it's interesting too. I forgot to bring it up then, but I saw this on a show that did a study of this, and their narcissism get divided into elements. I believe there are 13.
There's a
technically.
bunch. Yeah.
And most people in the world have at least 3.
Yeah.
Already, like it's big. But when you're getting into like 4, 5, 6, 7,
yeah.
now you're getting into that weird range. I don't know where the cutoff is, but now you're getting into like they interviewed a guy with all 13, like on this shit. This is a while ago.
Yeah.
And it was insane what this guy was saying. I was like, oh my God, he had no, like, it's almost like he had no emotion. He was almost a robot.
Yeah.
But like a cold, highly intelligent, calculating
Probably.
robot machine.
I'll be a sociopath.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable. This guy made like anyone I encountered look like
they usually sometimes if they're men, they end up being serial killers. Those traits lead to being a serial killer.
I think he was.
He probably was.
I don't remember the details.
I don't know.
think I
This is
blocked
a
them
weird
out.
side topic before we finish. The CIA and like you know military, they look for people like that because they're excellent.
You're right.
At certain jobs.
They want that.
They do.
Yeah, because
They
they're
do.
going to be so good at
They'll
it.
be good at it.
And like the CIA wants a little sociopathic tendencies.
Hey.
They want just enough to where you're willing to.
You know what you
Why
are when
should
you're a
steal and
soldier?
break the
You
law?
work for the government and you can kill people.
You're a killing
you can kill
machine.
people. You're not a murderer. You're a soldier.
That's right.
Right?
You're a soldier.
You're a soldier.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
And even if
you're
you
a
kill
soldier.
enough of them, you can even use a flamethrower. You can like go in their house and steal their shit, and they'll give you medals. And then you can go walk in the parade when you come home. That's the difference between a murderer and a soldier.
And a soldier.
Yeah.
Or like if you're in the CIA, you're legally authorized to break the law. of
Yeah,
the
you
country.
100% you
I
are.
mean, not in that country, but our country says
You can
go
lie.
ahead,
You
break
can
their
lie.
laws.
Entrapment, lying.
cheat, steal.
Yep.
You know, do what you need to do.
If
within,
you're a great
you get-
criminal,
you need
if
to
you're
get.
good at being a piece of shit, go figure
Yeah.
out a way to work for the federal government legally.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the
'cause
state,
It
or the
just might
state.
be a really good career path.
Yeah,
for
state
you.
or federal.
You know, state or federal government. Get into like, security, or
Oh God,
God, we just-
are you
military?
kidding? NORAD,
Yeah.
CIA,
Yeah.
FBI,
CIA, FBI. Go for it. Internal
keep-
investigation. Go for it, man.
military, Army, Navy. You know, there's a lot for you, man.
true,
There's a
man.
lot for you.
So
All right.
true.
That's enough. That was fun though. I enjoyed that.
Peace, brother. That was a great
All right.
time.
We're heading out. We did 4 episodes today, 5, I think.
Yes, we
So
did.
thanks
Yes,
for
we
your hard
did.
work. I'm hopping on this
Thank
train.
you too, man.
I'm getting out of here.
Peace.
All right, buddy.
That's right.
Yeah.